What if the real answer to a crippling, decades-long chronic illness wasn't found in a pill bottle, but was actually discovered through a 27-year personal battle? Today, we're diving into this incredible story of how one man's fight with Crohn's disease didn't just lead to his own healing, but actually sparked a whole new business model for wellness. So let's start with a really fundamental question, right? Is just managing the symptoms of a disease the same thing as truly healing from it? For millions of people, the answer is a hard no. There's this huge gap between just getting by and actually thriving, and that's the space we're going to explore today. To really get why a new approach is so desperately needed, we have to look at the reality for so many people who are just stuck in the conventional healthcare system. It's a system that, honestly, can often feel like it's designed for management, not for a cure. And the sheer scale of this problem is just staggering. 70 million Americans are dealing with digestive diseases. I mean, let that sink in. This isn't some niche issue. It's a full-blown public health crisis that shows there's this massive, unmet demand for better solutions. Here's the crucial point. It's all about the difference in approach. For conditions like Crohn's disease, the standard medical playbook is basically a life sentence of managing symptoms with some really heavy-duty drugs. It's a defensive strategy. But the idea of actually reversing the illness, of targeting the root cause, well, that's rarely even on the table. This quote, it just reveals the deep personal motivation behind this entire journey. The founder, Matthew T. Gilbolt, didn't just suffer himself. He actually lost 2 friends with Crohn's who followed that standard medical path, and it failed them. That loss is what fueled his search for another way. And that personal fire, that grief, it fueled a decades-long search for a real solution, one that took place far, far away from a doctor's office. So for nearly 3 decades, Matthew lived with Crohn's, which is a really severe autoimmune condition. His journey took him from a diagnosis and years of failed treatments all the way to rock bottom, where he was facing permanent disability. But that was the turning point. And this number right here, this changes everything. 15 years of sustained remission. This wasn't just a lucky streak or some temporary fix. It is long-term, verifiable proof that he found a way not just to manage his disease, but to actually overcome it. So where did this breakthrough happen? Not in a lab or a hospital. Nope. He found remission by radically changing his inputs, by combining specific plant-based foods, targeted plant therapies, and doing deep work on regulating his own nervous system. So, how do you take a personal victory like that and make it repeatable for other people? Well, you systematize it. And that's exactly where this protocol comes in, forged from 27 years of trial, error, and ultimately success. He basically broke down his success into these 4 integrated pillars. It's a multi-pronged approach that treats the whole person, not just the disease. So let's break down what each one of these really means. Okay, the first pillar is the cannabis catalyst. Now, this isn't about recreational use at all. It's about using cannabis oil to support the body's endocannabinoid system, or the ECS. The ECS is kind of like a master regulator, controlling things like inflammation and immune response. This protocol uses the plant to help reset that critical system. Next up is the epigenetic edge. This is all based on the science that says your genes aren't your destiny. Your lifestyle, your stress levels, even your beliefs, they all act like switches that can turn genes on or off. This pillar focuses on regulating the nervous system to literally switch off disease signals and turn on the body's own healing pathways. The third pillar is all about uncovering what he calls hidden invaders. The idea here is that chronic, low-grade infections, things like parasites or bacterial overgrowth, can keep fueling inflammation under the radar, and they're often missed by standard tests. So this step is about finding and clearing out those underlying issues to give the body a clean slate to heal. And finally, we have this sovereign system. This is what ties everything together. It's about shifting your mindset from being a passive patient to becoming the CEO of your own health, empowered, in control, and totally sovereign. Okay, so you've got this powerful protocol. How do you take it and scale it to help thousands? You build an entire ecosystem around it, what the founder calls a galaxy, that's designed to share this discovery with the whole world. The strategy here is really smart and multi-layered. It starts with a book to build trust, then leads to a flagship course for real transformation, offers a community for support, and provides exclusive one-on-one coaching. But what makes this model so innovative is its structure. It's a private member association. This creates a protected community where members can confidently explore these protocols without any stigma. And the people this is really designed for, they're often successful professionals who, even with all their external success, are feeling burned out, anxious, and just plain stuck. They're frustrated with surface level fixes and are ready to invest in something that offers real, deep transformation. Now, to scale this vision and reach more people, Acknowledge Move Forward is seeking strategic funding. The ask is really specific. $75,000 to launch the platform, scale up the marketing, and expand the team to meet what is clearly a huge market demand. And this isn't some number just plucked out of the air. Every single dollar has a job. The investment is strategically allocated to the most important areas for growth: building the tech, funding a keynote marketing event, and enabling the founders' full-time leadership. So all of this comes together to create this powerful dual opportunity. It's addressing both a deep human need and a massive gap in the market. For anyone seeking healing, it offers a real path to reclaim their health. And for investors, it's a huge opportunity in a multi-trillion-dollar wellness market that is starving for authentic solutions. It's where profound purpose and massive potential meet. The founder challenged the narrative that his disease was incurable. So the final question is really for you. What narrative in your own life about your health, your potential, or your limits needs to be challenged for you to reclaim your own sovereignty?